Python debugging tips. What are your best tips for debugging Python? Please don't just list a particular debugger without saying what it can actually do. Related. What are good ways to make my Python code run first time? This discusses minimizing errors.
PDB. You can use the PDB module, insert pdb.set_trace anywhere and it will function as a breakpoint. To continue execution, use C, or cont or continue. It is possible to execute arbitrary Python expressions using PDB. For example, if you find a mistake, you can correct the code, then type a type expression to have the same effect in the running code. IP is a version of PDB for IPython. It allows the use of PDB with all the IPython features including tab completion. It is also possible to set PDB to automatically run on an uncaught exception. PIDB was written to be an enhanced version of PDB. Benefits?
This URL, a full-screen, console-based Python debugger. Its goal is to provide all the niceties of modern GUI-based debuggers in a more lightweight and keyboard-friendly package. PUD allows you to debug code right where you write and test it, in a terminal. If you've worked with the excellent, but nowadays ancient, DOS-based Turbo Pascal or C tools, PUD's UI might look familiar. Nice for debugging standalone scripts, just run.
If you are using PDB, you can define aliases for shortcuts. I use these.
Logging. Python already has an excellent built-in logging module. You may want to use the logging template here. The logging module lets you specify a level of importance. During debugging you can log everything, while during normal operation you might only log critical things. You can switch things off and on. Most people just use basic print statements to debug, and then remove the print statements. It's better to leave them in, but disable them. Then, when you have another bug, you can just re-enable everything and look your logs over. This can be the best possible way to debug programs that need to do things quickly, such as networking programs that need to respond before the other end of the network connection times out and goes away. You might not have much time to single-step a debugger, but you can just let your code run and log everything, then pore over the logs and figure out what's really happening. Edit. The original URL for the templates was this URL. This page is missing, so I replaced it with a reference to the snapshot saved at archive.org, this URL. In case it disappears again, here are the templates I mentioned. This is code taken from the blog, I didn't write it. And here is his explanation of how to use the above. Again, I don't get the credit for this. By default, the logging module prints critical, error and warning messages. To change this so that all levels are printed, use to send log messages to a file called debug.log, use
If you want to see more, please consider subscribing.